Bang! What's going on, guys? Tune in to a new edition of the main event. I'm Talkin Hands. As always, I'm your host, Preston, joined by Mr. Danny Betts. We're going to break down this weekend's exciting main event action as Rafael Espinoza takes on Sergio Chirino Sanchez. Before we get into that fight, we'd love to recap the fights that happened over the weekend. And we had three really big ones that we spoke about last week on the show. We're going to start top down, so to speak. Tank Davis does get the job done. Knocks out Frank Martin. I believe it was round 8, if I remember.
Yeah. Yep.
Clean left hook, or really straight left, basically, right to the hurt him bad, hit him, and then really, really put him out. Dan, what were your thoughts on Tank Davis' performance? Got the job done and looked pretty good, I would say, overall.
Yeah, that fight went exactly how I thought, man. Frank Martin was going to have success early. Shout out to Winner Circle in the chat. Hey, yo! And it was like we were saying, like one thing I know is when he fights southpaws, when Tank Davis fights southpaws, he uses the jab more, he's throwing more volume, and he was walking him down, bro. He was just walking him down like a little, bullying him and shit. And he looked good. Martin, like I said, the first 3-4 rounds did all right boxing wise, but that's where 14 months off. You already know how he fights. Usually, Tank Davis is downloading, breaking you down mentally and IQ wise, setting traps. Which, if you notice, bro, before that knockout, the last 2 rounds before that, he kept throwing a right, like a two piece. His right, straight left, right, straight left, right, and he get to the point that Frank Martin. Shout out to Big Show in the chat. To the point that Frank Martin was ducking, and that's how he got him with the uppercut, bro.
Yeah,
he set his ass up bad. Like he did the straight right, which caught him anyways, hurt him, and then he hit him with the left uppercut, pop, and then he finished it off with the nasty left, bro. That put him away.
Yeah.
Great performance, man. I've been telling y'all, man. This dude's for real. Hate him, love him, whatever you want, bro. You can't deny his talent and IQ in the ring, and his power is crazy. And everybody's they always find something. Oh, he should be fighting this guy. He should be fighting that guy. Like some guy was trying to argue about the whole Stevenson thing. I'm like, who the hell has Stevenson fought? If anything, you should say Stevenson should fight somebody. Stevenson's about to fight the guy that Frank Martin has fought. Like, come on now. He hasn't fought nobody. Stop it. His resume is way better than these guys. Like I don't understand the argument, but yeah, they're talking about Lomachenko maybe next.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Maybe after that, maybe Stevenson, but we'll see. Like he's been saying it ever since he came back from jail. He's like, dude, I want all the smoke with everybody. Like now, do we get it? The whole promotion, the whole bids. Everybody forgets about that. It's more than just the 2 fighters. It's but he's the man, bro. He's been setting out arenas. MGM Grand, one of the best arenas ever for boxing. So he's the guy. So I don't want to hear that Stevenson bullshit that can't sell out little arenas for Top Rank.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought Tank looked good. Tank did what sort of expected him to do, got him out of there. And really the issue with Martin was that last fight. He didn't look good at all. Kind of the blueprint was laid out. Tank followed it to a T, and I gave Tank his credit after the Garcia fight, so I'm not a hater anymore, so to speak. So
you could more to dislike, not hate, dislike.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. If he does fight Lomachenko, I'll take Lomachenko, but we'll see if that fight gets made. Hopefully,
bro, they're already throwing the narrative. Oh, Lomachenko's old. All this other bullshit. I'm like, oh, here we go already. Winner Circle said Tank is definitely the A side moving forward. Fact. Oh, dude, there's no question at all, bro. I don't. There's no argument at all. I don't understand these people. Like, I don't know. I just keep it real. I'm not a fanboy. I'm a fan of the sport. I just try to keep it real. Like, you can't deny it. The guy's the face. I'm not gonna say face of boxing, but he's up there, bro. Like literally.
Oh yeah, Tank's probably one of the most. Well,
he gets knockout, like highlight knockouts. What do you want? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't discredit that.
I just love the sport, bro, and I appreciate talent. Like, I love Stevenson. The dude is crafty as hell, distance management, things like that. I would definitely want watch that fight for sure. But we'll see. I'm not crying about it though.
Co-main event for that card. Unfortunately, if Benavidez did get it done, dominated the fight with the decision. Jay, what are your thoughts? Kind of went the way we figured. I saw some people put the jab on Monster, but Benavidez looked good. Like I said, free fight or free show back here for his hand.
Your mic was kind of tripping again or whatever, but yeah, like you said, I kind of heard you. The fight did go exactly kind of how we wanted. One thing, so this is when it comes to predictions and gambling and stuff. Sometimes we get lucky and we find out about like injuries before the fights or like rumors and things like that. I didn't hear anything about Benavidez being hurt or whatever before the fight, so I didn't know. If I would have known, that would have been a big help in betting this fight because I did think the value was and I know we don't like that word all like that, but we tried finding value and I seen that decision prop, but I thought he could get him out of there. He dominated the fight. One thing that surprised me, did you notice like Benavidez got tired after like the first half of the fight? It was weird. Like I'm like, I would think like you didn't have to cut down all that weight like you usually do, and but he looked great. He won the fight through more volume and just didn't get the knockout. That's about it.
Yeah, my worry, because we talked about it last week, was he looked so good his last fight.
Yeah, it was kind of like a.
Now he's facing a guy off a layoff, so to speak. Hasn't really fought a league competition. Should get him out of there. Should look good. Like you said last week, the speed. It all was there. He hit him with some good shots more early. But, yeah, like you said, late, he didn't really pile it on like I would have wanted. And, got the decision. He's right there, though, at the top at 175. There's not really Bivol, Better be of Benavidez. Is he Dominican or Morel?
But he's at 168. Don't get me started on that because everybody talks about Canelo don't want to fight Benavidez. I'm like, Benavidez don't want to fight Morel. He bounced. He went to 175. Like, I don't want to hear that either.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's staying at 175. Morel's at 168. So I don't know. I mean, I'm good either way. Like, we still gonna get great fights with Benavidez at 175 or 168.
Yeah, Winner Circle is saying the jab of Vodsick was giving Benavidez issues, but I think he had shit. I thought Benavidez won like 9 rounds.
Oh, he clearly won. Yeah. He definitely clearly won. Because, like, that was the only thing that he did. He didn't throw enough volume at all, man, to keep up with Benavidez at all, to win rounds. He kept, and then every time he would get clipped, he would back away, survivor mode. Throw a jab, like stay away from me. That's what I call it. But yeah, he looked in great shape, so he was in there to survive, in my opinion. But like I said, like Benavidez being hurt and then getting hurt again during the fight you can't really predict that. So, but still, dominant performance in my opinion.
Yeah, I thought he looked fine. Like, not like super great, but I thought he looked good for the fight. Now the one big upset of the weekend, unfortunately, Lamparo gets the job done, wins a decision over Subriel Matias. Danny, what were your thoughts on this one? Paro, I give Paro a lot of credit early. I'd say it was round 3, 4, 5. Matias was coming. He was hitting him hard with some good shots. He took those shots. Credit to Paro. What do you think here? Maybe a rematch? Not sure what's going to happen.
Shit, if you're well, I don't know. I can't deny him because I gotta give him credit. The motherfucker went to Puerto Rico to fight one of the guys that have been avoided in his hometown, his home country, and to fight him, like, you gotta give him credit. But so one thing that I kind of threw out the window for this one, and it probably caught me, is because I'm a little bit biased, which I'm pretty good at, is throwing that out the window. But I usually say when it comes to fighters fighting in their hometown, home country, a lot of times either they lose or their performance is not what we expected. and this one was both. You know, he one thing I loved about Sobler Matias, well, what I love is that he moved out of Puerto Rico to train in Mexico, you know, away from everybody. He even said, like, back, you know, he gets distracted, he gets lazy and stuff like that. So that's why he moved to Mexico to train. I love that about him. And you can tell the difference when he fights, you know, anywhere else. Here, he's coming out with rappers, which is dope. Don't get me wrong. I love that. You know, that's not, I mean, it is him as part of our culture too, like Puerto Ricans and stuff. But like, I already could tell like it was getting to his head. Like he was too much in the moment. He was talking about the knockout. And then where I knew it was over was I think round 5 in the corner. He was not listening. He was just saying, "I'm gonna knock him out. I'm gonna knock him out." When Panda, his trainer / coach, is telling him, "Bro, you keep following him and not throwing enough. You're not throwing enough. You're not throwing enough." Which was weird.
The beginning was bad.
You said, I think it was only round 3. Round 3, he came alive. I'm like, okay, there you go. After that, it was like he was just looking for that big shot, which is not him. He's more like, okay, volume. You're gonna take these steady shots, you know, and I'm gonna break you down and make you quit or either get you out of there. And he was just looking for a clear knockout, which that's not him. And he screwed up. And shout out to Pato because he had a good game plan, which I was saying, like, he could, you know, avoid the shots, outbox him. The one thing I will say, though, he was holding on like a motherfucker, bro. Like, he, you know, shout out to MMA Locker in chat. He was holding on like crazy. Like, I'm like, bro. Like, but at the same time, I do disagree with this. The ref took a point away.
Yeah.
Because he was doing like rabbit punches behind the head, which I understand because if you notice, he was saying that from the beginning because Pato did do that from the beginning. And he even went to his corner and told him like, bro, you got to listen to me. So I felt like the ref kind of felt like he wasn't like respecting him. So that's why he kind of got mad and probably took the point away, which I thought you could have gave him a little bit more time. Like, it wasn't that crazy. You know, I was more mad about holding. Like, he was literally holding all the time. Anytime they was getting close, he was holding.
Yeah.
But he had the right game plan. Outbox him from the outside. Move. Don't get trapped in the ropes. If you do, you know, slip out, take, you know, a couple high guard and slip out. But yeah, he clearly won the fight. Like, he clearly won the fight. I don't know if they get the rematch. If they do, I think it's going to be in Australia, which is going to be another big fight. But yeah, Matias, I don't want him fighting in Puerto Rico anymore, bro. Like, I hate saying it because like it was a sellout, it was a huge event, it was awesome for the people, but he's not right in the head when he's over there. Like, it's clear as day. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Eddie Hearn. I mean, that's both of them are his fighters. So you know, if he wants to make the rematch, it could easily happen. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I'm kind of more in line with you with I'd almost say Paro impressed me more than, you know, Matias, I guess, disappointed. Paro, like the way he stopped Montana Love, and then he was firing at Matias. He wasn't just laying down basically, because that's where I know we talked about last week with maybe Catterall getting up there. Catterall versus Paro. They can make that fight easy. I think Paro would knock out Catterall.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good fight. But yeah, Matias just didn't look right. Like, I think the first round, he threw like 3 punches. You know,
bro, if that.
Yeah, he just kept walking and walking. I'm like, what is this? Like, it was almost like, I don't know if the commentators brought up or not, but Trinidad.
Yeah,
he would fight like that too. Where I'm just,
he was right there screaming at him.
Yeah,
like he's on ringside, like, bro.
Yeah, and then we talked about with Loma before, not the Haney fight, but how he starts slow and then he picks it up and then he looks really good. You can't just give rounds up in any sport, really, especially boxing. So good performance by Paro. Matias will definitely be back and hopefully gets that knockout. And shout out Danny Drew in the chat. Mills, Winner Circle Big Show. Danny Drew said Paro had good game plan, scrappy. Judges got it right. Surprised the fight being in Puerto Rico.
Double D.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no Puerto Rican, like, people forget that. Like, I understand. Usually you see that in the UK because they usually have, like,
Oh yeah,
They had British, judges.
Oh, yeah.
There was no Puerto Rican judges, you know what I mean? But yeah, they definitely got it right. He definitely won the rounds.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, good performance by Paro gets the victory. Now we move on to this week's main event action. As always, our odds are brought to you by mybookie.ag. Promo code PUBSPORTS. 50% deposit bonus match credit debit. 100% Bitcoin. Use the Bitcoin. Mybookie.ag. Promo code PUBSPORTS. Have Espinoza as a minus 750 favorite. Comeback on Sergio Chirino Sanchez plus 550. Espinoza off the upset win, arguably the fight of the year earlier over Robisi Ramirez. Do you think Espinoza continues the good luck, so to speak, rolling this week, or do we see another upset on the horizon?
So that last fight, if you didn't check out that fight with Espinoza and Robisi Ramirez, man, go check it out. One of the better fights, that we got that year. It was a war. Like it was nice, man. It was crazy because it was, I forget what round it was. I know it was early, but Espinoza got caught. So Espinoza is a right-handed fighter, but he could switch stances. So he switched stance lazy against Robisi, and he got caught nasty by Robisi's left hand, which is his power hand. Knocked him down, bro. He got back up, but he was like, he but he went to the ropes like this.
Yeah.
And like the ref could have stopped it, bro. Like the way he could have just said, that's enough.
I think it was like the end of the round, so they let it go.
Yeah. I'm saying he could have, like, if he wanted to, because he was out. And shout out to him after that, bro. Like, I guess that woke him up. True Mexican went in there. He's linky, tall, kind of like a Fandora type in a way. Not as tall or whatever, but tall for the division. And he went in there and scrapped, man. And I always say this, like, when it comes to, like, UFC and boxing, especially obviously fighting, if you could take somebody's best punch and then, like, okay, I took my best punch, now you got to take mine. And that's exactly what happened. Espinoza turned up the volume. It became a war. And he started breaking down Ramirez, man. He was winning the rounds just on more volume. Made Ramirez take a knee late in that fight. I think round. It was 11 for 12.
Yeah.
And that won him the fight. It was close, but I thought he exited out too. Even though I was on the Ramirez side. I was just I even forgot about my bet because this fight was so nuts. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, just enjoying it. And he got the dub. And, now Chirino, he's a guy, he's Mexican, but he's more like patient, right-hander too. He's got a nice lead hand. He tries to actually counter you with that hand a lot. But he's more patient. He doesn't throw a lot of volume. Once he starts going, he likes to dig to the body. Nice 1-2s, straight down the middle. His hooks are kind of wide, especially his left hand.
Yeah.
I noticed that. And then he likes to take pictures, bro. Like, he's there to be hit. Like, once he's throwing.
Yeah.
I noticed that
I think he's going to get countered bad.
So
really bad.
I think this is like kind of, I don't want to say a setup fight, but like, it's a good matchup for Espinoza, man. I think it's going to be entertaining while it lasts. But did you see the props? I didn't really.
No, there's like no.
Yeah, I didn't see any. Like and I usually find them, but not even.
Because the thing was, I watched Chirino on YouTube, and the fights were in Spanish. Yeah. And I'm like, well, that's not good when the fights are only in Spanish. and then I thought he was super slow. Like, I thought he was very slow. And then I watched the Espinoza Ramirez fight. I think there's one other one up. I'm like, I think it is a setup fight. I think he's going to get killed. Yeah. Like, I think Espinoza is going to knock him out pretty easy. Like, so personally,
he's got one loss, and he got knocked out, but it was by Mauricio Lara. And Lara, man, he could crack. So I mean, that was in the second round, I think. But yeah, I agree, man. I think it's a matter of time until he breaks him down and gets him out of there. I didn't see anything up as for the prop. Yeah, there's no props. It's just money lines, man. So I'm interested in 7-12 for Espinoza.
Yeah.
I don't know what the knockout is gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be juice. Maybe I'll throw it in the parlay, but I can't really. It's hard to tell you guys what my best bet is because I don't know what the props are. Shout out to you, Danny. I love your name, by the way. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a pretty good fight for Espinoza to get it done. I'm kind of mad because I was trying to go to this fight, but I couldn't. Some things popped up, but yeah, it should be entertaining. I think Espinoza gets it done. Chirino, like I said, is like you say, he's slow, which is weird because he looks like he's athletic. He's got some power. He has some power, but he's slow. Bad defense because he stays there in the center, and yeah, I think he's gonna get fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say because I didn't know much about the guy either, and then like I said, I'm watching the tape. Like this is a setup. Like Espinoza looked very good against Ramirez, and it's just the volume with the uppercuts, just digging to the body. Right. I don't know if there's, we talked about earlier, the value on a money line. This guy's minus 700. I think he should be like minus 2,000. Like I don't think he's gonna lose like at all. Like I don't know. Because I think even if he does get caught, he's not gonna get knocked out. This guy, Chirino, one of the fights I watched, he knocked the guy out, I think round 3, round 4, but it wasn't like that impressive. No. It was just like
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna throw him in a parlay. But yeah, Chirino, he didn't impress me. I thought I would see something from him, but like, cause you're probably talking about his last fight against some dude named Contreras, and Contreras fought some decent. I mean, his record sucks. I think he's lost like 12 fights or whatever. But he's been in there with some guys, like Emmanuel Navarrete and guys like that, a couple of them. But obviously he's got knocked out in the first couple of rounds. But yeah, he's not even good. And I know Chirino like got him out of there round 3, round 4, but it wasn't great. Like just looking at his skill set for this fight, because the thing about Espinoza, he actually can mix it up. Like I said, he could switch up from orthodox to southpaw. He's got to clean that up, though, because when he does it, it's slow. So he can get caught.
And he was getting hit quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, he got dropped because of that, because of Ramirez. Yeah. Right when he switched, he was like, what? He caught him with the left. But that's my only thing. But I like that he could fight. He actually does use his length.
Yeah.
But he mixes it well, and then he's like, okay, let's go. And then he'll find the inside. And he knows I'm about to take you out. He knows when to do it. So I do like that about him. So he does use some of his reach, but at the same time, he'll go in there and get the job done. So, yeah, Espinoza all day.
Yeah, I was very impressed with what I saw from him, and I wasn't impressed with Chirino at all. So, yeah, not really much else to say. I saw, I won't say like our boy, but I know you interviewed him. He's on the undercard, I believe, Abraham Nova.
Yeah, that's going to be a good fight, man.
If you have anything on the other card, let them know, Danny.
There's like a card in the UK that I'm looking at. I haven't really dug into a lot of these fights because there's not a lot of props and stuff, but one I'm looking at is an underdog, Tyler Denny. He's fighting Felix Cash.
Yeah.
Just because there's a lot of red flags from Cash, bro, and you're giving me plus 160 something for Denny. That's a really good boxer, a little athletic. Only got 1 KO in his last fight. Like, doesn't have a lot of power at all. But he could really outbox you. Cash, was kind of like a hype job early in his career, getting some knockouts. But now, there's some rumors. It's been like 2 years he's been off. His power hasn't been the same the last couple of fights. He's been with Conor Ben. I'm talking about PEDs, so he might be on some PEDs, and he had let it go. So and that's why he's not looking the same. Had an injury, with his hand, so now he's coming back from that with the long layoff against a guy that's really crafting a good boxer, which I think is the better boxer in momentum, and his hometown, which could be bad, like I said. But I do like the dog in that fight. And then on this card with the Espinoza fight, only one was that Cortez against Abraham Nova, which I got to interview him. And Nova is cool dude, real down to earth. But I gotta keep it real. He did have a good performance in his last fight against I forget his name, the champion. Oh my God, now I forget his name.
Oh, Foster,
Jesus.
Yeah.
But Foster hurt his hand, early in that fight, and he dug in. That's why I do like Foster, because he'll dig in, bro. He's a dog. And then he got a late knockdown too to seal the deal. Nova still thought he won. I don't think so, but it was close. It was definitely a good performance from Nova, better than I expected. Cortez is a guy that is a boxer I don't like, not because of his boxing skills, it's just because I think he's a prick. And he's dirty sometimes, but he had a good performance his last fight, had a good KO, I think, round 4. I think Top Rank is trying to promote him more, undefeated fighter, than Nova. Nova's chin been questioned, bro. He's been knocked down in his last fight. He's been knocked out by Ramirez, Ramirez is good.
Yeah.
And it was kind of more of a weight drain because that was in the lower weight class. And now, he's bigger. But still, I still question his chin, man. I think Cortez, and his flow right now, he's finding his power. Top Rank's behind him. I think he's like minus 350 around there, minus 300.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at that knockout prop, man. We'll see. I don't know what the knockout or the decision is, but because it could be one of those two, like the same thing. He'll get like a late knockdown, but Nova survives and then he gets a decision. But yeah, that's another one. Not super confident like Espinoza, but I do kind of like him as a parlay piece, just because I think he throws more volume. I think he'll win the minutes, and he could win by knockout, in my opinion. But we'll see.
Yeah, I just know Nova because we talked to him and he's been in a lot of these ESPN Top Rank cards. So
yeah.
But yeah, it almost I do feel bad. It almost seems like his best days are behind him, which I feel he still seems fairly young to me, but definitely, like you just said, who they want to win, like who the organization wants to see win. So who knows? Maybe, hopefully, it'll be a good fight. That being said, there's not much to say for best bet.
I know what my best bet is.
Yeah, I'll let Danny take the floor here first.
Espinoza money line. I mean, what else can I give you? Like, there's no. I gotta see the knockout. I'm pretty sure they're not gonna give us one. I'll be happy with 180, 175 for the knockout. If not, it'll be like 250, 275, 300. It's kind of like if you want to parlay that. But I'm gonna look at the 7 to 12. Because I love doing those, but yeah, I think it'll take some time for him to get the knockout. But I'll go with 7 to 12 whenever it comes out. Can't give you a number.
Yeah, I would almost just say straight KO, just because they are, it's like a smaller weight, so
yeah.
Sometimes with that you'll get like a decent price. It's really the Tank. Tank wins every fight by KO. I think his KO
was 175.
Yeah, or 180, what I saw. So that's not a bad price,
Yeah, if it's that number, I'm good with that. But
yeah,
when you get to the mid 200s, or it's kind of
yeah. Oh yeah, and I mean, it's damn near every other week getting burned by these KO props. Like fighter dominates, and I'm like
hurt his hand.
Yeah, it's a joke. So. The only one I don't feel, I guess, as bad. Matias lost the fight, so it's like, okay, he didn't get the KO, but he lost.
Oh yeah. He
so
lost.
I was wrong, When like Benavidez, I thought he dominated the fight. He might have hurt him once, like he didn't really hurt.
Yeah, but like I told you, he got banged up. He had some injuries that we didn't know about, so it's kind of like, damn.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So. But yeah, I agree. I think Espinoza gets it done, gets the KO. Next week, we got 2 exciting fights. Teofimo Lopez comes back, takes on Steve Claggett. And the guy who we rate fairly highly up there, pound for pound boxing, Bam Rodriguez, is returning. Tougher
can't wait
tests
for
than
that.
usual. Pick on Estrada, but I think we know where I'm going for sure. And there could be your parlay. If you do those parlays in advance for some fights. As always, guys, if you could leave a like, drop a comment down below your action for the fights. Join the membership, $10 a month, Pub Sports Radio. Horse races twice a week on Jimmy the Bag Show. Danny, any plugs you'd like to get out? UFC this week, Saudi Arabia, early card. Join the guys tonight, Locker Room Podcast, 11 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Central. Tune in. The guys have been cashing quite a bit. Danny, anything you would like to add before we get out of here?
Shout out to Winner Circle. He said, Preston, Danny, appreciate the commentary and the insight. Danny, I'm a part of the Patreon. Let's fucking go. Y'all stay safe and let's cash this weekend. Yes, sir. Yeah, I've been taking it easy with UFC. There hasn't been like a lot of spots I like. And then my dumbass, whatever. My dumbass like forced a bet that like Saturday and they didn't even cash, but it is what it is. But yeah, follow me on Twitter, X, IG at Danny Betts, TikTok, Danny Betts with 2 Z's. My Patreon, if you're interested with all my boxing plays and parlays and things like that. And we have a little community. They added like kind of like a Discord, like you could chat. So we all chat in there and throw ideas and things like that. And yeah, here of course in PUBSPORTS Radio, I'll be with the boys on Saturdays. The earlier card, it starts at 12, I think.
Yep.
And then yeah, the main card's at 3. And obviously we'll be here again on Tuesday to talk more boxing. But yeah, should be interesting. Remember, this card is on Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
This card is on Friday, yeah. And then the UK one is early Saturday, like early afternoon, like 4 or 5-ish, whatever. Well, the main event should be around like 5, I think, something like that, Eastern. So yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, should be a good, exciting weekend of action. Like Danny said, shout out Winner Circle. Appreciate the compliment. Danny Drew, Mills was in here. Big show. Everyone in the chat, Winner Circle again. We'll be back next week, guys. Exciting 2-fight breakdown, and then UFC 303s around the corner as well, which should be fun as well next week. This was the main event. Talkin Hands. See you guys next week, guys. Peace.